Hello there and welcome. In this video, I will discuss on signs of low self-esteem in the workplace. If I'm new to you, my name is Yanto Kekayaya. I help professionals who feel like they're not good enough in who they are and in what they do to achieve confidence from within so that they feel empowered to become their best selves both professionally and in their personal lives. We really cannot look at self-esteem without looking at the umbrella which it sits on, and that is self-confidence. Self-confidence can be looked at from two perspectives, and the first perspective is self-esteem, and the second perspective is self-efficacy. A brief description of what both of them means. Self-esteem can be defined as a complete love in ourselves, a complete belief in ourselves that we matter, that we are valuable, and that we deserve respect. Self-efficacy, the other part, is an indicator of the belief we have in our abilities, in our capabilities, and in our skills, that we can confidently carry on a task efficiently and effectively to completion. Now, most people usually work on their self-esteem and they forget about their self-efficacy. So what normally happens is that even after you've built your self-esteem, you will still feel that you're not yet confident or you're not yet there. There's that feeling that is still there with you that something is not okay. The reason why is because you've only worked on one aspect or one perspective of self-confidence. You've forgotten about self-efficacy. So for you to feel a holistic confidence in yourself, you have to work on both self-esteem and self-efficacy. In this video, I will only discuss about self-esteem, and in my next video, I'm going to talk about self-efficacy. Low self-esteem usually feels like a trap, and internally we would like to break out and feel confident. It's a search for freedom to be ourselves, to allow the authentic self to come out or to show up, so that authentic self is able to do more than what we are currently doing, or will be able to become more than our current selves. There are several common signs of low self-esteem in the workplace, but today I'll just cover 6 common signs. The first one is fear of expressing your opinions. This can be seen when you're in a meeting. For example, you're with your boss there, your colleagues there, and you're brainstorming about a particular topic. So what normally happens is that you have a good idea and you'd really want to share or to express it, but you keep quiet. Reason why: you are afraid or you fear to get ashamed because your colleagues will be able to see the nerves that are going on within you. For example, you fear that they're going to hear your voice shaking, that your hands are shaking, that you're all sweaty and your heart is pumping. Because you have your dignity, you want to preserve as an individual, you don't want them to see that aspect of low esteem being exuded in yourself. So what you do, you keep quiet. And what happens is that your colleague will raise the same kind of idea that you wanted to share. And truth be told, normally when there are promotions or there are openings at work, the people who are normally selected are the ones who have good leadership skills and the ones who are bold enough to really express their ideas. So when an opportunity comes, but your boss will not really float your name for promotion because they know this person doesn't really speak up much, doesn't share much during meetings, and is not exuding the leadership qualities that are needed, you miss out on promotions. Now, the question that we should ask yourself: why should I really miss out on an opportunity? Not because I am not qualified, but just because I fear to speak up. And it's something that you can really work on. Now, the second sign of low self-esteem is called mind reading. This is when you think people are judging you in a negative way. This is when you really make thought assumptions in people's mind. For example, you are making a presentation at work and you thought assumptions might be: number 1, my colleague thinks that I look and sound nervous as I present. Or my colleagues think that my presentation skills are crappy. Or my colleagues think that I am really not sharing anything valuable. or my colleagues really think that I am not intelligent. So these are thoughts that run through your mind as you are making your presentation. That's what we call mind reading. You're assuming what your audience are thinking about you. So what normally happens is that you remove your focus, your 100% focus from the message that you're sharing that is very key, and then now you're being redirected to mind reading. So what happens is that you end up really not making a good presentation, and it validates what you initially had in your mind, that you are not a good presenter. The third sign of low self-esteem is external validation. This is when you continuously look for external validation to fill the void that is within you. You can do this by, number one, outperforming in the workplace, because once you outperform, then you'll be able to be praised, and that makes you feel good about yourself, or you'll feel that temporary kind of confidence during that moment of praise. Another form of external validation is by always ensuring that your self-care is on another level, that you're always smartly dressed, always looking good. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm saying that you actually do that so that you get praise that makes you feel confident. Like, for example, people will tell you are smartly dressed. That particular moment, you really feel confident and you feel good about yourself. Now, the other one is also in regards to, having material things, like driving the best car, living in the best neighborhood, and that gives you that temporary feeling of confidence. The danger with this type of temporary feel of confidence is that you will continuously hustle for it. It is not something that you have it at all times. It is something that you have to really source for it all the time. And really, to say the truth, it is not sustainable, and also, number two, it is expensive. The fourth sign of low self-esteem is faking identity. This happens when in the office you feel like if you show up as your authentic self, you believe that you will not be loved, you will not be acceptable, or you will not fit in that culture for that specific organization. So what happens is that you start showing up as someone else in a different persona, someone you've created in your mind whom you believe that will be more accepted there, will be more loved there, who will fit properly in that culture. What that leaves you feeling is a feeling of betrayal, that you're betraying your authentic self. You'll actually feel so sorry for yourself and ask yourself questions. Why don't I show up as my authentic self? Why do I have to betray so and so as you? Why can't I just be me and show up as me? What we are not aware of, or what we forget, is that we are human beings, we're imperfect. We'll always have flaws. And those imperfections or those flaws, do not belong to a particular group. Those imperfections are just okay for us to show up as ourselves. And actually, when we show up as our authentic self, we will be more accepted. The right energy will flow from us to other people. We will have more to offer to other people when we show up as our authentic self. And that we are different, and we show up differently, and we give differently. So when you show up as someone else, then just know that you're really limiting this world to see the real you, to see the beautiful you, to see the well-able you, and you have so much to offer in that office or even in your personal life. The fifth sign of low self-esteem is negative self-evaluation. This is when you evaluate yourself from a glass half-empty perspective. This is when your self-dialogue about yourself are negative. In an office setting, you could actually compare yourself with your colleagues. You'll tell yourself that they are better presenters than you are, that they are better performers than you are, that they are better people than you are. Now, to prove you wrong, just go and ask one of your colleagues who knows you very well. Tell them to tell you about what are your strengths. And you'll find that actually what they'll tell you about your strength, it is what you had analyze yourself in a negative way. Now, this happens to you because your self-awareness is low. You do not know who you are. You do not know your strengths. You do not know your capabilities. That is why you always find yourself in that mode of comparison. You'll always find yourself in that mode of analyzing yourself in a negative way. So what we need to do is that we need to raise your self-awareness so that you are aware of your strengths and you're also aware of your capabilities. The sixth sign of low self-esteem is perfectionism. This is when we go through work feeling like we are a deficit, we are not good enough, we are incomplete, or we are not yet there. This can be seen when you've been given work or a report or a project to work on. You overplan, you overanalyze it, and also you keep on refining it, and it takes such a long time such that you don't meet deadlines. The reason why this is happening is not because the work you're working on is not of standard, but it's because you have low self-esteem in regards to the kind of work you can produce. You always feel that it is not yet there. You always feel that it's not of value. You always feel that what you're working on is not really, will not be acceptable. But if you really accept the fact that as we human beings, we are imperfect, and through our imperfections, we can still produce work that is valuable, then you will know at what point your work is ready for you to share so that people can see your capability and the results that you can really deliver. So I would really urge you to, yes, ensure that you're working on you're doing work that is of excellence, but don't really stay with work for a long time. Self-esteem is important because we'll stop feeling that we are timid. We'll stop feeling that other people are better than us. We stop feeling that other people deserve more than we do. We'll also stop hustling for attention. We'll also stop really looking for validation from external factors. Self-esteem will empower us to be able to show up as our authentic self, and we'll be able to do so much with our lives. We'll be able to do so much at our workplace, and we'll be able to be so impactful in whatever place we find ourselves at. Because I understand what it means to have low self-esteem, the struggles that one goes through, the emotions that you have to deal with because of low self-esteem, and the feeling that you're so stuck and limited by low self-esteem, I'm going to offer free coaching sessions. What you need to do is that just click on my website link. It could be up there or up there, and then you go to the calendar session. Just book a session with me, and then I'm going to connect with you. I can't wait to see you. For now, just be kind to yourself, and bye-bye.